And the story is that. Let me hear. What's this on the screen?
Yeah, so this is the wreckage of the Titanic, as you can see.
So what's the Titanic?
The Titanic, so it was launched in 31st May 1911, and at the time it was the largest passenger ship for that time anyway. Yeah. And so the tragedy was in the next year, that was 1912, 15th April, it crashed into an iceberg in the North Atlantic Ocean. It broke apart and sank about 12,000 feet down.
Where is the North Atlantic? When we say North Atlantic Ocean, where is that?
North Atlantic. So we have, get my bearing straight. So the Pacific typically would be around the Americas. That would be closer. The Atlantic would, the Mediterranean I believe is on top. And then the Atlantic then would be below. Is that below Africa?
Yes.
Yes. So the North Atlantic.
The Atlantic Ocean is below Africa, yes.
Of course.
Goes to Australia, India, and then the Indian Ocean takes over.
Okay. So North Atlantic would be like more sort of within the boundaries of the Africa, Ghana, Nigeria,
the Gulf of Guinea.
South of
the Gulf
region,
of Guinea.
South of that region.
Okay.
So it's within that area that about 12, sources vary, about 11,000 to 12,000 to 30,000 feet down, it sank to the bed of the ocean floor within that area.
It had people in it.
It's so actually more than 1,500 people died, passengers and crew died on board the ship. So
this is the wreckage.
That's the wreckage.
Where are we getting this photograph from?
So this is from the internet. This quick research, we got it from.
Who is able to? So this photograph is on the bed at the seabed.
This is the seabed. It's not easy to get shots like this, but you see, so this is why one of the problems we're seeing today. This was probably captured by an unmanned ship. It's safer to use these unmanned ROVs. Remote operated vehicles to go down and capture this because it's not safe for human beings to be down there, not safe at all. The pressures down there are up to about 6,000 pounds per square inch. If you go down there. So for reference, the pressure on the surface of the earth is about 14.7 pounds per square inch. If you go down there, 14.7, as we're standing right now, pounds of force is acting on us. If we go down to the bed of the ocean, that's 6,000 pounds per square inch. It will crush you into pieces.
Oh, I see.
So you need to be in a ship to get down there. So that was the issue. But the thing is, these are treacherous waters. Human beings were not meant to go down, but we're defying nature. And unfortunately, this is one of the things we're seeing.
We'll get there. Let's get this slow by slow. So this is so what's this? This is the Titanic?
So this is the Titanic.
This is how it looked like.
This was the Titanic before it crashed. This is a render of the crash because obviously no one was there to capture this. The way it was happening. Okay, so this is just a model. This is the beast. So the Edward.
It was sailing with passengers, like a cruise.
Passenger cruise ship.
And they crashed into what?
They crashed into an iceberg.
And that's 1912.
This was 1912. And it's actually spurred a lot of change in terms of the international maritime safety standards, spurred them to act.
Okay. Yeah. So now what has happened?
So this is the issue.
Yeah, the new matter.
This is the issue. So it says that the submersible operated by this company, Oceangate. Oceangate is a luxury company.
No, before then, what's a submersible Titan?
A submersible. Well, we'll get into it. A submersible is like a submarine. It's a vehicle used to explore the depths of the ocean. Typically, submersibles are not manned. No human beings are in there. But because humans want to explore, they've created it to allow about up to 4 or 5 people to be within. So it's like a small submarine for people. And the Titan is an example of a submersible. Okay. It's we'll get to the measurements. It's about 22 feet across. It's like the size of, our trotros, the small trotros. It's like the small one. It can contain up to like 4 or 5 people. So it's operated by this company, Oceangate, which is one of many, which allow people to actually go down to the depths of the ocean to explore. But this is not just for like normal people like myself. Maybe for someone like you. You can go down there because you are wealthy enough to go. It's not easy. You see,
by the grace of God, it costs a lot of money to do. That's what you mean.
$250,000 to be on board this ship.
So like the tickets, it's $250,000.
Yes, and even then, it's not just having money, but it's a very selective process. So even like the elites of the elites gets to unfortunately go and lose their lives in situations like this. So yes, it says it was supposed to visit the hulk of the Titanic, which is about 12,500 feet below the surface of the Atlantic. But that was Sunday. Now, this is the report that about 1 hour, 45 minutes after it set off, they stopped hearing from it. I'm hearing other reports saying that they were still hearing communications, but officially
1 hour 45 minutes from when they set up on top of the sea.
From when the submersible set off, it seemed they stopped hearing from them.
So they set up and they are going down. They're going down, like the plane is going up. They are going down, down.
Yes. So as the PSIs are acting on them in a linear manner, like so, the deeper you go, the more the pressure goes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it says that there was some sort of incident or malfunction that caused them to stop communicating, which is very strange because apparently, according to sources like the Washington Post, CBS, if there's any small malfunction, they immediately shut the trip, they immediately shut it down.
And come back up.
Like a normal airplane flight.
Yes.
Small problem, you land instantly. But nothing like
So
that.
they shut and come back up.
They would have if there was a problem.
Okay.
But there was nothing like that, which is very strange. So it suggested that the experts were saying perhaps the problem that occurred was so grave that they couldn't go back. It was an instant shutdown.
Oh, I see.
So the theories are the ship imploded. The force of the pressure within the bottom of the ocean was so much that...
But by the 1
caused it.
hour, would they have gotten to the bottom of the ocean?
I don't think that would be enough time to descend up to like 12,500 feet. Because, the dive
So that
was...
means the accident occurred in the middle of their journey. They didn't quite get there.
It's not clear because there was not enough communication to know. There were some reports that apparently the ship hadn't been serviced. They had made many trips. So maybe, but it's not. None of these are substantiated.
So by the time they were
at this
setting
time.
off, they knew that the mission was to go to the
Go
seabed
down.
to observe the Atlantic.
Yes, a routine trip.
Oh, they've done this before?
They went multiple times.
The same
historically.
people?
There are people, not the same people specifically, but there are different people. One of them,
And they've all gone to see the Titanic already?
Some of them have. Some
Seen
of
it?
them is their first time. Yeah, seen the wrecks. There are people. One of them actually has a world record for diving so deep and in a specific period of time. We'll get to it. So
Okay.
let's move on. Yes, so these are the people, unfortunately. At this time, it seems that they are dead because the report said that by early Thursday, they would have run out of oxygen. And right now, it's evening, unfortunately.
Early Thursday today.
Early today,
They will
would
be
have run
running out of oxygen based
Yes.
on the oxygen they have.
Yes,
And
unfortunately.
so the Titanic sub crew believed the crew.
The crew.
This
So
is the
these
crew.
are the crew, yes.
This is not the guest.
No, these are the people. Well, the guests and the crew.
So how many crew?
Only five people can be on the ship. So you
But
can't
who is
have-
the crew and who is the one who's bought the ticket?
So this was Stanton. Sorry, Stockton Rush. He was the CEO of Oceangate. He was the pilot
Oh,
of the
I see.
ship.
Okay.
The rest of them, they paid for the ticket to be on. So we have also these. We'll get to these. Let's just move on quickly.
Yeah.
Right, so this is it. It says the debris was found by the U.S. Coast Guard. So the U.S. Coast Guard, the U.S. Navy, and then some other international agencies were helping to find the ship as it fell. And it says that we've been speculating. The theory was that the carbon fiber hull, it's carbon fiber and titanium, somehow imploded and killed everyone. So apparently they're saying potentially it was good news because at least they died quickly. They didn't suffer. Because what would happen if you are in this situation and you're running out of oxygen? It's theorized that the ship ran out of electricity because of some function.
So they think the thing just blasted.
No, it just imploded. That's one theory. Another possibility.
And it happens within a minute.
It's not even a minute, but then potentially it's something that you can't stop. Once it's started, you can't stop to say, let's go back to the top. Maybe
I get that. I'm talking about the way they are speculating that if they are dead, the way in which they may have died. That
the
just-
implosion.
Yes.
Well, we can't be sure. Because it could
But that's
have
how the
been-
thing looks like?
This was the ship. We've got more pictures.
All right.
So
Let's move on.
Yeah, so these are the crew. This is how it would look. You see, it's 4 people, but there you can fit about 5 people. It's not a very comfortable.
Okay, this is how they sit in there.
This was them inside, and they're going to watch. And you see, you can't
going to
really
watch
see.
what?
You're going to watch the wreck of the Titanic.
Okay.
There are no windows because of the pressurization issue. It has
So
to
how
be
would they
safe.
watch it?
There are cameras, so they watch through a camera. Even there's not even you pay $250,000 and you can't even see it. You have to watch it through a camera.
To a video,
screen.
but you are near it. You're near.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So this is them. And so this is the ship. This
Okay.
is it.
Okay.
This is it. Yeah, so this is how a human being would look. This was the structure, as you can see. It's supposed to be able to go down about 13,000 feet with 4 passengers, 1 pilot, moving at 3.5 miles per hour downward. And they had oxygen to last 4 days, or I think 97 hours. So then it said as at a certain time today, they would have been running very, very low on oxygen.
So as of Thursday morning, they should have, if everything went well, they should have been
Yes.
returning up. They should have come
They
up by.
would have, yes.
Okay.
But because of the issues, you see, as I was saying, thankfully, perhaps it seems they died quickly. If they had died slowly, what would have happened was they would have suffered hypercarbia, which is basically carbon dioxide poisoning. They would have suffered hypoxia, which is lack of oxygen to tissues and blood. Then anoxia, which is severe hypoxia. So it would have been a very torturous, horrible death. So perhaps if they died instantly, it's a bit more merciful. Yes, again, another picture of the ship with the dimensions and the depth, 4,000 meters or 13,123 feet, about 22 feet, like I said, like our small trotros. Yes. So what to know? Basically, the submersible went going to explore the Titanic went missing after it lost contact about 900 miles off the east of Cape Cod. Now, Oceangate has been organizing, as I said, it's routine since 2010. It's not anything new. So it's interesting that this would happen. And that it says that, so the submersible, as I explained, it's a type of vessel, like a submarine, that goes down. Typically, human beings are not supposed to go, but then because we want to see the bottom, we've allowed, since the 1980s, people have been doing this sort of thing. Yes. It says that the search effort could be the deepest search in history. The first time, obviously, because we don't really do this often. So the first time we try to recover people. And the sub has a limited supply of oxygen, just about 4 days. So you can't really do much. And again, like the size of a minivan, or in Ghana we call them trotros. Yes, and so the 5 people, well, we see the people who perished in this unfortunate tragedy. There was the CEO, Stockton Rush, who was the pilot, and then 4 other individuals like Hamish Harding. So this is Stockton Rush, the CEO of Oceangate. He was estimated to be worth $12 million. Now, these people weren't really like high profile like that, so some of the sources talking about their net worth are not confirmed, but it's rumored he was worth $12 million. He was the pilot of the Titan, and he was age 61. Again, we have to be sure to really cross-check the ages because some of them are not so famous that they have certified Wikipedia pages. But then the people doing the reports on them are saying that he was 61. This was Paul-Henri Nargeolet. He was the director of underwater research for a company that was basically the custodian of the Titanic wreck. He was estimated to worth $1.5 billion. And he was nicknamed Mr. Titanic because he was used to this sort of thing. It's not new for him. What's happening?
Okay, I think that you're running out. Oh, can they put it up? All right.
I think we're running out of slides.
Okay, we'll get there later.
Yeah.
But so the confirmation is that they are dead?
Unfortunately, we've seen that they are dead. I do have a video, though. I don't know if they have our video, talking about somebody who was in a similar situation some years ago. He was able to be rescued. Again, he got trapped down there and was explaining how it felt. He thought he would die because the pilot was trying to move the ship out of the way, and unfortunately, it's like he couldn't. But then eventually, they were able to get out. I don't know if the video is ready.
It's a very unfortunate story. Let's take the let's take. Oh no, it's okay. It's too sad. It's too sad. We don't want people to be crying. So it's okay, no video. Okay, they said that images are back. Okay, so who is this?
Yeah, so this is Hamish Harding. He was a pilot and then he was into aviation. He was estimated to be a billionaire or so, a British man. So he held the world record for the longest time going into the deepest part of the ocean. And he did it in just 4 hours, 15 minutes. So
that was the longest time?
Yeah, no, yes. So he spent the longest time doing this. So he was a world record holder. So it's not new to him. And this is Shahzadeh Dawood. He, British-Pakistani businessman, worth about $136.7 million. He was into renewable energy and he was very passionate about helping low-income communities rise out of poverty. He was also linked to some charities linked with the current King of England, the United Kingdom, King Charles III. He was also the vice chair of a conglomerate that was into fertilizers, textiles, and food. And obviously his son, 19-year-old son. He just recently came out of high school, the international school in Surrey. He was a second-year student at Strathclyde Business School, but then he's just recently passed, unfortunately. And these are just basically a summary of the issues. Wow.